Hello and welcome to evaluation question 7, which is looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learned in the progression from it to the final production? So in this question, I'm going to talk about what I have learned from when I did my preliminary task up until now, when I had completed my final production. So since our preliminary task, I have learned and improved on different camera angles, shots and movements. So when I did my preliminary task, I had basic knowledge of the different shots and angles, but now I feel like I am 100% confident in what they are and what they might connote to an audience member. So for example, a low angle connotes power. For our final task, we planned all the different shots that we were going to use, but for the preliminary we didn't, because we didn't really have much knowledge when it came to things like shots and angles. Our preliminary task, in my opinion, was more about experimenting with the camera and trying out different angles and sort of getting used to using the camera. I also have learned that planning is a necessity. We planned for our final production, we planned every tiny detail so that when we came to filming, everything worked to our advantage. For our preliminary task, it was more of an on-the-spot task. We didn't really have much planning, and not much thought really went into the production itself, the preliminary production. I've also learned how films are produced, distributed and budgeted. So for example, some films are high budgeted and low budgeted. So I learned that the high budgeted films are more likely to contain more locations and bankable actors rather than the low budgeted films, which would contain actors that are not really as well known. I had from when I did my preliminary task, I had basic knowledge of the film industry, but now I feel that I'm more knowledgeable and aware of all the key aspects that are needed when it comes to creating a film, and I also will have more knowledge in the different types of jobs that are required to creating a film. So for example, you would need a makeup artist, and obviously you'd need a director, but yeah, things like that. I also researched and learned about different film credits so that I could use them in my final task. So in my preliminary task, we didn't have any credits, but now I'm aware of the different names included in opening sequences. Before, I didn't really pay much attention to the when I would watch an opening sequence, but now I know what names are needed, and this is included in my final task. I also learned about the different sounds. Like to be honest, I didn't really know anything about different sounds. I didn't think there would be different names given for different sounds. I'm aware of sounds like pleonastic sound, ambient sound, which is background sound, non-diegetic and diegetic sound as well. I've also learned how to use Serif Movie Plus and Serif Draw Plus. So when it first came to doing a preliminary task, I had someone in my group who was really good at using Serif Movie Plus, so I didn't really get involved when it came to editing the material. But since then, over the past couple months, I have learned how to use this software, and it was really difficult at first, and now I find it really easy. I've also learned how to edit and change lighting from high key to low key lighting on Serif Movie Plus, and that's it. Overall, I feel that the preliminary task was a rush task, so it's more like a practice task, and now the final task, it was more thought out and planned. So that's what I've learnt from when we did the preliminary task. Thank you.